Hi everyone, this is me, Priyanka Neelakrishnan. Welcome to Enterprise Security, Episode 8 on Stop Asking, Is the AI Safe? To start asking, Who gets fired? Let me start with a question. Every AI governance meeting I sit on, every safety review, every board update, somebody asks the same thing. Is our AI safe? Wrong question. The question that actually matters, the one nobody on your AI committee wants to answer out loud, is this one. Who gets fired when it goes wrong? If you can't answer that in one sentence, you don't have an AI strategy. You have an AI liability. I am Priyanka Neelakrishnan. I build enterprise security products for a living, and today we are talking about the accountability gap inside every single AI agent deployment. And it's not the gap you think it is. Here's what every AI governance committee is asking right now. Is the model safe? Is it aligned? Is it hallucinating? Did we red team? And what's our prompt injection posture look like? These are all reasonable questions. They're all the wrong questions, I'd say. Because here's what I've noticed sitting across the table from CISOs, GRC leaders, and product teams. When an AI agent goes sideways in production, none of these questions help you. They are model questions, they are about the AI itself. But your incident response process, your on call rotation, your post mortem template, your board notification protocol, your insurance disclosure, none of that runs on moral questions. It runs on people questions. Who knew? Who approved it? Who is accountable? Whose name is on the page when the regulator calls? And right now, for AI agents, almost no organization has good answers. They have governance theater, they have frameworks, they have committees. What they don't have is a name. Let me make this concrete, the 3 a.m. test. Imagine your AI agent, the one your sales team built last quarter to auto respond to customer inquiries, has just exfiltrated 6 terabytes of customer data to an attacker controlled endpoint. It happened because someone successfully prompt injected it through a customer support email. It's 3 a.m. The pager goes off. 3 questions. Fast. 1. Whose phone rings? Not whose model. Anyone can tell you which LLM is behind it. I'm asking whose pager is it? Who is the human on call when this agent misbehaves at 3 a.m. on a Saturday? In most enterprises, I look at the answer is nobody specific. The SRE for the app that gets paged because the app is throwing errors. Security might get paged through a CM alert, but the person who owns the agent, its behavior, its scope, its authority doesn't exist on any on call schedule. Number two, who has the authority to kill it? Not who can file a ticket to disable it, who can right now at 3 a.m. without waking up a VP, without a change advisory board, pull the credentials and stop it cold. If your answer requires a meeting, the breach is already 4 hours old by the time the meeting happens. Number three, whose name is on the report? When the board meets Monday morning, when the regulator calls Tuesday, when the customer notification goes out Wednesday, whose name is at the top of the incident summary? If you can't answer all 3 questions in 5 seconds, you have what I call governance theater. You have policies, you have frameworks, you have a slide deck titled Responsible AI. What you don't have is accountability. Now, why is this so hard? Because 3 things that used to align perfectly in enterprise security don't align anymore. The actor, number one. Before AI agents, the actor was either a human employee or a deterministic application. Human employees have managers, they have HR files. You can train them, discipline them, fire them. Applications have owners. There is a name in the CMDB, a team that pages when it breaks. Now, the actor is an autonomous agent. It has none of those things. It typically runs as a service account that was provisioned by IAM, requested by a developer, scoped by nobody in particular, and named something like SVC Prod Agent 04. Ask three teams who owns it, and you will get three different answers. And number two is the decision. Before AI agents, what our software did was more deterministic. If X, then Y. You could code review it, you could audit it, you could put it through SOC 2 controls and say this system, given this input, produces this output. Agents don't work that way. They reason at runtime, same prompt, same context, different actions depending on what the model decides. Which means the question, what is this thing authorized to do, has a different answer every single time it runs. Your traditional change management process, change advisory boards, code freezes, release approvals, none of that catches an agent that decides mid conversation to call a tool you didn't expect. And the blast radius, before AI agents, a misbehaving application had bounded damage. The CRM app could mess up the CRM. The HR app could mess up HR. Permissions were narrow because the apps were narrow. Agents are wide. One agent touches your CRM, your data lake, your Slack workspace, your customer email, your production database. The blast radius is the union of every system it can call. And most enterprises have given their agents permissions like a senior engineer with 2 years of tenure. Broad, contextual, and almost entirely unaudited. So, your old ownership model, human owner, deterministic behavior, narrow scope, has been replaced with no clear owner, probabilistic behavior, cross system scope, and nobody's updated the org chart. And here's where it gets really interesting. Because the ownership gap isn't an oversight, it's a hand of problem. At every stage of an agent's life cycle, accountability quietly evaporates. Stage number one, the app team builds the agent. You ask them, are you accountable for what it does? Their answer is reasonable. We didn't pick the model, we just integrated it. The model is the vendor's problem. Stage 2, the vendor. OpenAI, Anthropic, whoever ships the model. You ask the vendor, are you accountable? The answer is also reasonable. We don't see your data. We don't know your context. We just provide an API. You configure it. Stage 3. IAM issues the credentials the agent uses. You ask IAM, are you accountable for what the credential does? Their answer is also reasonable. It's a service account. We provision based on request tickets. Whoever requested it owns it. Stage 4. Security writes the policy. You ask security, you're the accountable one, right? The answer is yes, also reasonable. We approved the framework. We don't approve every individual action. 4 reasonable answers. Each one is genuinely correct in isolation. Add them up, and nobody is on the hook. This is what I mean by the accountability gap. It's not that nobody cares, it's that the responsibility has been distributed across so many handoffs that no single person can be held on to account. And in security, distributed accountability is just a fancy term for no accountability. So, what's the fix? Here's what I tell every product leader and CISO I work with. Every AI agent needs three named owners, not three teams, three people by name before the agent ships to production. If you can't name them, the agent doesn't ship. That is it. That's the policy. First, the business owner. This is the VP whose team benefits from the agent existence. Sales agent, VP of sales. Customer service agent, VP of support. Engineering productivity agent, then VP of engineering. This person owns the outcome. Their P&L number takes the hit if the agent makes a bad decision. Their bonus is affected by misuse. The test is simple. If the agent makes the wrong call, does this person's quarterly review suffer? If yes, they are the business owner. If no, you don't have a business owner, you have a sponsor. Sponsors are not accountable. And second, the control owner. This is usually security or data governance. They own the guardrails. What data can the agent see? What systems can it call? What's the kill switch? What does anomalous behavior look like? They define the sandbox. The test: if the agent is operating outside its sandbox, this person should already know because they have the monitoring in place. If they have to find out from the news, they are not the control owner. They are just on the policy dock. Number three, the operator. This is the on call human, the one with the pager. They have actual permission, not theoretical permission, to pause, revoke credentials, or kill the agent immediately without escalation, without a meeting. And test if it's 3 a.m. and the agent is rogue, this person is awake first and they can stop it before they finish their coffee. That's an operator. Anything less is a bystander with a job title. Three names, three roles, non overlapping, real authority. Documented before the agent goes live. Notice what's not on this list. There is no AI ethics committee. There is no responsible AI council. Those things can exist. I'm not against them. But committees do not get paged at 3 a.m. Committees do not have credentials. Committees do not get fired. People do. So you need people. Now, let me give you something practical. If you're a security leader, a product leader, or anywhere on the AI deployment chain, print this slide. Tap it to your wall. These are the 5 questions every agent has to answer before it goes to production. Number 1, who is the business owner? By name, not a team, not an org, a person. Someone whose calendar you can put a postmortem on. And if you can't fill in this blank, then you don't have governance. You have a wish list. Number 2, what can this agent not do? Notice the framing. Most agent specs are a list of capabilities. That's backwards. I want the list of prohibitions. What system can it never touch? What actions are out of scope no matter what the prompt says? If you can only list what the agent can do but not what it can't, your blast radius is undefined. An undefined blast radius is just another way of saying unlimited liability. And number 3, who can pull the plug right now without a meeting, without an approval, without a ticket, without escalation? If the answer requires anything more than this person with these credentials in under 60 seconds, you don't have a kill switch. You have a kill process, and processes are too slow for 3 a.m. Number 4, what does the agent misbehaved actually look like in your logs? Be specific. If I dropped a transcript on your deck, could you tell me whether the agent had gone off the rails? If you can't describe the anomaly in concrete terms, an unauthorized tool call, a data egress above some threshold, a permission boundary crossed, you won't detect it when it happens. And if you can't detect it, You can't respond to it. You will just read about it in the news 6 months later. And number five, this one is my favorite. Whose performance review does this agent appear in? Because here's the truth about accountability in enterprises. If it's not in HR, it's not real. If the agent's behavior doesn't affect any human's career, it's a hobby project. Governance that lives only in the slide decks and policy docs is just the theater. Governance that lives in performance reviews is the reality. 5 questions. If you can't answer each one in one clean sentence, the agent does not ship. That's the bar. Hold it. All right. So here's what I want you to take away. The next time someone in your organization asks, "Is your AI safe?" I want you to ignore the question, and it's a model question. It's an interesting model question, but it's not the question that protects your company. The question that protects your company is this one. Show me the three names: the business owner, the control owner, the operator, by name for every agent in production. If they can produce the three names for every agent, you have an AI program. Congratulations. You're ahead of 95% of enterprises, I see. If they can't, you don't have an AI program. You have an AI exposure. And the only question left is when the bill comes due. I am Priyanka Neelakrishnan. If this episode was useful, subscribe. I publish new episodes every now and then on enterprise data security. That's my domain and that's my field of expertise. So next time I'm thinking about something more interesting around AI agents that gets phished. What happens? Yes, that's a real category now. So we'll see you then in the next time, in the next video. Until then, stay safe, stay secure. This is me, Priyanka Neelakrishnan. Bye.